Hello everyone, welcome back to another part of the testimony, and this is part 3. And if you missed part 1 and part 2, please go back into the channel and you will find them. And also I know part 2 is still missing another part, but we are working hard to get it there. It's not been easy because of course the devil hates to be exposed. We're waiting for that war. We are ready for that war, but the devil will be exposed and God will get out his own and he will be glorified. So I am glad that you joined me again today for another part. But as always, we're gonna start with reading the word and then have a little prayer. So with today's part, we are reading in Psalms 55. So Psalms 55. It's a little lengthy, but please may it be a blessing to your heart. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not thyself from my supplication. Attend unto me, and hear me. I mourn in my complaint, and make a noise, because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore, pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror hath overwhelmed me. And I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then will I fly away and be at rest. Lo, then would I wander far off and remain in the wilderness. Selah. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from their streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I would have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide, and mine acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together, and walked unto the house of God in company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell. For wickedness is in their dwellings, and among them. As for me, I'll call upon God. The Lord shall save me. Evening and morning, and at noon will I pray, and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me. For there were many with me. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Selah. Because they have no changes, therefore they fear not God. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but woe was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O God, shall bring down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I'll trust in thee. May the Lord bless the reading of his word. May we have a word of prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for yet another opportunity that you have given to me, Lord, to express you, to reveal you, to talk about you, to magnify you. So, Father, I pray, Lord, that you take over my lips, that they will bear good fruits, and there will be the voice that will go forth. It will be an encouragement to someone. But in all things, Lord, may the people know you. May they that have faced battles because of the wickedness of the hearts of people, may they find comfort that you will help them. As the scripture has said, that Father, you will fight for your people. You will save those that have trust in you. You will not abandon and you will not forsake your people. And those that call upon the name of the Lord, he shall surely come for them, and with a mighty hand he shall save them. So, Papa, as this testimony go forth, may you bless the hearers, may you bless the watchers, may they receive something from you, whether it's a warning, whether it's an encouragement, whether it's a revelation, whether anything that will be helpful to them. I pray, Lord, that you truly help them, but you be magnified and you be glorified in all things. Lord, I know that there is so much to talk about, and if I am being deceitful, you will expose me. That much is for sure. So, Father, I know that what I'm talking about is true, and I'll try my best to say it as you want me to say it. The people may never understand it now. Others may say that I'm making up things, but one day you will turn on your big TV and you will show them that I have said the truth. So may you take over my words, Lord, and may you express yourself, Father. May you bring warning to your people, but may you also bring courage, encouragement to your people as well. Father, bless your people and expose that enemy. Bring shame and disgrace and confound that enemy. And those that are still working for the kingdom of darkness, may you extend grace to them that they may be out of it. But those that resist, Father, may they find what they are looking for in there. Because in that kingdom, there is no mercy, there is no grace. But there is a lot of innocent people that are working in that kingdom that do not even know what they are doing. And I pray, Lord, that you extend mercy for them and get them out, Father, and cleanse them and forgive them. And forgive me also, Lord, of anything that I've said, of anything that I've done. Forgive my people, Father. Forgive my family. Forgive all your children, Father, Lord, I pray. And may you take over this entire conversation, Father, and close my mouth to the wrong things and open my mouth to the right things. May you bless your word, Father, and may you bless this testimony. And those that are hearing it, Lord, may you bless them. May you be blessed forevermore. May you bless your holy angels. But those in darkness, cast even more darkness upon them, I pray. For in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ I pray. Amen. Okay, so for those that did not listen to part one and pretty much part two, it's all about my childhood and a lot of the things that happened when I was in a very, very young age, and the school that I ended up with in that tormented me for many years, even when I was not in it anymore. And right now I'm going to just listen to the Holy Spirit to see, you know, the direction that He wants me to go. I have a, you know, something in mind, but I will let Him, you know, just get to say what He wants to say. So when because from the part one to part two, it was from the kindergarten, you know, when we started at that school. So kindergarten, then ended up in grade one when I got transferred to that school, and when I was in around third grade or primary 3, I was transferred to be into boarding school. And because of the darkness that was happening in my life, and because of the rottenness of the system in the school, the teachers refused to actually pass me into the 4th grade because I had to sleep with them. And the more I resisted sleeping with them, the more they really made me repeat the class. I think I repeated the 3rd grade at least 3 times because you know, because it was always those same teachers that were in charge of it. So they left me in there and mocked me and got the younger children to beat me while they called me, you know, grandmother, mama, and everything. And in all of that was to frustrate me until to give up my body for them. As they had always said that, you know, you will not be the first and you're not going to be the special one. Why should others do it? You know, like this girl is doing it, that girl is doing it, and you see how they are passing their classes, and you really don't have to do any homework. Just one time, really. It doesn't have to be many times. So at some point I got very frustrated with these people. So I ended up having, because I was older, right, more than I was really older than these children now, because now I've repeated the class at least 3 times. So at some point I got fed up and I started influencing those children in a rebellious way, in a way that, you know, because they too, there is some girls too that had said no to sleeping with these teachers, and that will all get beatings, right? And that there is also the other girls that had been passed into the other grades, but they too, they were still holding a grudge upon these teachers. So I took advantage of those time, you know, with these very vulnerable people. So I told them that, you know what, enough is enough. We have to deal with them. But it's like, how? So I'll talk to the girls in the upper classes, because I'm in the boarding school, right? And we go in the same dorm. Some of them were in the same room, others they were in the room next to me. So I would get enough time to talk to them after prep. So I'll talk to them, like I'll approach, like, you know, like maybe 1 or 2, and I'll be like, so do you like how we are being treated? It's like, what do you mean? It's like, what do you think about the teachers? What do you think about Mr. So and so? It's like, now that you mention, this teacher has told me, you know, to do mean things with him, to go to his office, and he has been touching. I'm like, did you do it? He's like, no, I don't want to. So I'll use that and be like, you know, I'll tell them how that they have really make me to remain in that same class. So it was even easier to talk to the other ones that had left the class and left me in that same third grade, because they always ask me, why are you still in that same grade? How come you're not passing? So those are the moments that I'll tell them that, you know what, I did not pass. The teacher did not let me pass because, unlike you, I did not sleep with him. And so they will understand. And it's like, you know, but I didn't even want to sleep with him. But you see, if I go home with a bad report, my parents will really, really destroy me and everything, which I understood because I was facing the same tribulation at home. But they did not understand why I stayed in the same class. First, it was a spiritual thing because Claire and my intelligence was exchanged with Claire, which I talked about in the first video. Who was the daughter, the firstborn of that mistress, right? So I was dumb, really dumb, when it came to school. But other things, I was, it's like my mind was okay. When it comes to like other stuff, yeah, my mind was okay. But when it came to school, sometimes I'll look into the book and it's my eyes will water. And then it feels like I have some kind of a cloud on top of my head. So, and then sometimes I'll just really fall asleep. I got beat up a couple of times for falling asleep in the class. Because when I look into the book, I'll feel very sleepy for some reasons. But I didn't understand it at that time. Right? So all of that was what? All of those voodoos that had been done to exchange my intelligence with her child. So a lot of girls were really fed up with these teachers. These teachers were very arrogant. They knew they owned the school, and the headmistress and the headmaster, they did not do anything about it because they too were involved. So the entire school was built on sacrifices and rituals and demonic activities and sexual stuff, because that's how they were able to exchange the destinies and purposes of these children. So obviously they are not going to bring any discipline towards these you know, teachers. And when they would have like teachers meetings, they were talking about it. That was the agenda of destroying the destinies of these little children. So there was nowhere. Some girls who had reported these same teachers to like the upper management, but they'll get even more beating because the management, of course, in their little meetings, they'll be like, okay, the girls are getting suspicious. Maybe we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. So because now the teacher knows that, you know, they were reported, he will turn that anger even worse for that student. So at some point, as girls, you know, you're observing and it's like, you have to learn, right, from what you're seeing. So I knew better than to report any of these teachers. Again, I would sleep and see their plans. I would sleep and I'll see what they are talking about. So I knew better than to go to Auntie Jane or something to tell her what was going on, because she was the source of all the evil that was happening in that school, and her husband as well. So again, I took advantage of the vulnerable girls at that time. They were tired of how they were treated. Every time, it wasn't just you know, the teacher would be like, okay, sleep with me one time. No. So it would go for one time and, you know, meet me after class, or take my book in, take the books into the office. So when the girl takes the books into the office, they'll close the door. They try to do that to me a couple of times. But the Lord was coming and saving me at those moments. There is many times that I wanted to give in because I was really tired. It was very humiliating to stay in the same class while others are advancing. So at some point I was thinking about it, and it's like, what am I even saving? You know, what would have been very precious to me has been taken over and over again. So what am I really reserving? What am I saving? So it's like, but you know, maybe just do it so that you can pass. A voice will tell me they have AIDS. A voice will literally say that I'm not sleeping, you know, whenever I'll try to think about it. And it's like, it was an HIV. It went from being a virus to now a full disease. So they have AIDS. If you try, you will die from AIDS. You're gonna contact it and you're gonna die from it. Then I'll go back to because I had seen a couple of children that were born with AIDS, and I in the second video, I think the one that has refused to upload, it's not that it has refused. YouTube just hates that video. It keeps deleting it all the time, but we'll still get it. There was a girl that I talked about, Brenda, that she died with AIDS, and you know, so we had a couple of children that died with AIDS, and it was horrible to look at. It was horrible. There is even another one that I still remember very well. She was a little girl. She was a skeleton. You couldn't even tell how old she was. She blended in with dust. The eyes had gone from being normal eyes to like being just an open hole. And you know, I have skin on because I have nice weight on. You know, so for the little girl, it went from being you know, how we have some nice fat on our faces, but then all the fat was gone. Even the skin had just disappeared, and at some point it's like it's no longer skin anymore. Her family were tired of her. I remember her sister very well because her sister was a so-called friend of mine. So sometimes I'll go to their house after we had moved to a different location. So it wasn't in that regular location. It was horrible. It was like you're seeing a dead person. And sometimes her mother would be lamenting. It's like, when are you dying? Because now you have become a burden. The same mother that had infected this girl, she too was sick, but she was not to that extent, because the girl contacted the HIV in the womb. So she has struggled with it, and so she was done. This girl used to scare me. They couldn't even lift her up because she was bones, like real bones. And they knew at any moment she's just gonna pass away. And whenever I'll go there the next day, and it's like, she's still alive. Yeah, she's still there. So she will pee and poo at the place that she's at. At some point, they're not even feeding her anymore because they're just waiting for her death. That disease is horrible. I wish that the parents that know that they have it not take chances. It's like a pandemic in Uganda. It was so common that pretty much a lot of children had it, that were born with it. So whenever I'll get tempted and be like, maybe I should just try it, oh, the voice will tell me, you will get AIDS. If you try, you will get AIDS. And because I have so many memories of the children that I've seen perish, and how really death They look like death. And every breath that they are taking, you're even trying to help them breathe. It's like, because it's like every breath, it was a struggle. And the bony chest that you can literally see the shrunk organs. You know, you're looking at how it's raising very small and just going very small. The pain that this little girl was enduring was unimaginable. And the only time that they'll pick her up is when the night comes, and they, you know, she will just sleep on the mattress. Not on the mattress, on the mat. You know, those Ugandan mats. So they'll just carry the mat and just take it to the room, because she was even stinky. So it was horrible. It was just horrible. So I knew better that okay, it's tempting. It's really tempting. I would love to finally get out of this grade, because my family was mocking me. My stepmother was beating me, and nobody even understood why I was still in that class, other than myself and a couple of other girls that I had opened up to. So I told them that, aren't you tired of being treated like that? Why should we suffer and become their sex slave just to pass a class? They understood that pain, because some of them were intelligent and they would do well, and they were given the paper, and these teachers were something. They will show you that, you see, you got a 95 on your exam, but to have it for you to take it to your parents, I have to sleep with you. But if you refuse, they will have their red pens. They're always using their red pens. If you refuse, I'm going to cancel it, and it's going to be a 0. You'll be in trouble with your parents. They'll refuse to pay for your school fees. You are a girl anyway. You are not even expected to be in school. So they'll really talk down on you, and you know, they'll give you that pressure to give in. And really, now remember, they have HIV, they have AIDS, but they have slept with all these girls. And then the girls at night, they'll be sleeping with each other. And those same girls will be sleeping with the boys. You can imagine how that disease really spread around. I started seeing some people that started coughing blood, and they'll be sent home. They are not feeling well, and some just never return. So at the end of the day, grades were good, but your health was taken away. Your life was taken away. And some of them would know that Mr. So-and-so, you know, he has that disease. But you say, I don't have a choice. God will just help me. God will not help you in that situation, because you know what you're doing. So they will contact it. And then they'll get this bitterness. Some of them that knew that they have contacted the virus or the infection, I think it's a virus or something. So when they figured out that they have contacted, because some of them, their skins, you know, some girls, their skin will start changing, and they'll have something something that is called a chiguna. The Ugandan audience understand these things. So it's something, it's like a skin disease or something that will just take over your body and start eating it from the inside. Then it starts getting dry, and it gets itchy, and it just gets bigger and bigger. Some others in the hair, in the skull, or in the scalp, others in the face. A lot of them, it was in the neck, around this area. They'll get those things. So it was, you know, and those were the signs of that you have actually contacted the thing. But you know, so some will have the boldness to go and get tested. They'll come back with the result, and they say that, well, I don't care anymore. I'm a dead person. Someone infected me, so I too will infect them. They will have, you know, you watch how this girl would change. She'll go from sweet and kind and helpful and, you know, has a future, to going to being so cold. And now her priority is to make sure that she sleeps with all the boys that she can get, and the boys too. The boys will fall for it, especially on Saturdays. On Saturdays and Sundays, we're allowed to wear our normal clothes, or even after, you know, the school hours, when the day people have gone, we are allowed to have our remove the uniform, wash it. So the whole Saturday, the whole Sunday, you're walking around with what? With your normal attire. So that is the time that the girls will take advantage of that and really put on some nice sexy thing. And the boys used to sit close to their dorms, right under the tree. So the girl, of course, will get a basin, pretending to go to the washroom and be shaking it. And because the school was already built on the spirit of lust, there goes those ones. They'll be fighting to get that girl. So now we didn't have that girl. We had many girls, to a point that I started getting scared of, you know, using someone's spoon or fork, because that too, through the salivas, you can contact it. And some others, they will actually, you know, oh, let me help you with your hair, and try to cut you, so that they are using their laser, and they want to, because it was very common at that time that if someone that has AIDS, they use the same laser as you, that you're gonna contact it because the blood and everything. So I watched these girls really turn into evil people, and they tried a lot. And you know, when you live there, your cooked water, you come back and you want to drink, and a voice go, stop. Say, don't drink that. They'll pee in it, they'll spit in it. That way they are exchanging, so that when you're drinking it, you're drinking, it's not just disgusting, but they are also sharing their infections and viruses with you. So really, the girls became very evil, to where they were out to get anybody. And these same girls now started sleeping with even other teachers. Every new teacher that will come, they'll sleep with them. So the virus and the disease and whatever, it really circled around. So the ones that knew where they were standing, and they knew what they were going through, others started bleeding. They will be bleeding for months. Months. You talk about having a period for a few days, but they have been with the same bleeding issue for months. So it was disastrous in that place. So I got them. I'm like, you know what? Because we knew where most of those teachers lived. They did not live too far from our school. We know their schedule. This teacher is going to teach us to this time. That teacher is going to teach us to this time. Especially those that, taught us at night. So what we'll do is that as they are making, because remember, I said that the school itself had a little hill, right? It has a little hill up and you have to like descend down. So, but that little hill on both sides, even though there was houses, but it still had, it was dark. When it's like night, it was extremely dark. And snakes pass there all the time. So at night, you have to be careful to not be bitten by a snake, or to be, you can even fall into, the ditches that were there. So I'll tell them that, today is Mr. So-and-so that is going to teach us. They usually leave at around this time. So the moment they are done in the class, they would go into the teacher's office and fix up tomorrow's workload, and then within maybe 20 minutes they'll leave to go. So as the moment they leave the class to go into that office, we will run. That day, make sure that when you go to that evening class, don't wear anything light. So anything with color, wear something dark so that we can blend in with darkness. Do you understand? So I had a group of girls that I was leading. I had become a delinquent at some point. So then we'll make the plan. So the moment he goes into the office, we'll sneak our way through. So because our gate didn't really have any security person at that time, and it was open here, and there is bricks here, there's bricks here, but it's also open on that side, and it's also open on this side. So really, if you wanted to sneak in, to sneak out, it was very easy. So the girls that I was leading, it's like, so we're going to make sure that the moment he goes, we're gonna pass by, we're gonna jump through the windows, because you could jump through the windows, right? So that you're not running into some person that is going back into the dome. So we're gonna jump through the window, and we're gonna go behind the school, and we're still gonna end up in that little hill. Remember the paper that my stepmother would put in me? She had taught me some ways of really torture. And it's like, well, if they want to use their instrument to destroy people, we're gonna get that same instrument and torture them. So the stepmom had trained me that you can actually get paper in those privates, right? So we'll get through the day, when others go to lunch, we'll pick up the hot papers, because it was like a regular thing. They had little gardens around, so it was easy to get some herbs or whatever. So there was also paper, hot papers. So we'll get it and grind it, and we'll get a bottle and put the hot paper in it, and put water in it. So it's like, you're gonna have one, I'll select like 3 girls or something that I knew that were strong enough to actually carry through the mission. So now it's a mission to get revenge. And we'll get sticks or mopera. there is that tree. I think here they call it guava or something. That nice fruit. But the tree of that fruit, if someone was to beat you with it, you'll cry tears of blood. So we'll get good, nice sized up sticks from ompera, and each of these girls would have one. Only those that were leaders, because I don't want this mission to fail. The mission was, we're going to teach you what really, you want to torture us, but we're going to rebel, and we're going to teach you to. So whoever that was responsible for us that day, it was usually Uncle Mose. He was a very short man with a temper to destroy worlds and an arrogancy that was worse than Satan. So that one, he hated me and I hated him, but he still wanted to sleep with me. I was always a target to this man. So then, we'll go, we have omupera. All 4 of us, 5 of us have big sticks with also bottles full of paper. The plan, put it in the nose, strip him naked, take his clothes. Do not leave the clothes. We're gonna take the clothes back to the dome, so that he walks naked to his house. We knew a lot of them were married. It will be very funny to try to explain to your wife where you left your clothes. So the plan, I'll lay out the plan very well. We'll rub the hot paper in their eyes. We'll stuff the nose with hot paper. The mouth, open it up and put in sand. Let him eat the sand. And then down there, put plenty of paper. Both ways, actually. It wasn't just one way. I know that's demonic. But I was trained by a demon. I grew up with a demon that, I got all of that, how to torture someone, how to really cause them pain. And this man was destroying people. These children, we're talking about 11, 7, because he didn't have mercy. So we had a room that, had those little first graders that are just you look at it and there is nothing to desire. Look at the hair. It has kaweke. It even looks like a boy. But for you with the lustful eyes, it's like you're seeing a woman. You want to use your instrument to destroy. We will help you. So I trained them for a little bit. And it's like, do you understand? You are in charge of doing this. So as we pin him down, so there is the ones that will sneak upon him, grab him from the back, beat him on the ground, sit on him. We had ropes, tie him. Tie his mouth first so that he's not screaming. Because we'll deal with the mouth later. So he can't really scream much when he has sand in his mouth. So you're going to be in charge of the eyes, you're going to be in charge of the nose, you're going to be in charge of the sand, you're going to be in charge of the other part, and you're going to be in charge of this part, and this and that are going to be in charge of the beating. So as he's getting the pepper, he's getting the sand, he's also getting a beating. Will strip him completely naked as the day he was born. Because that's what he did to the girls. He would lock them into those offices, strip them naked, rape them in a way that was humiliating. And some of them will just come back crying, and they will sit on their beds and they will be just crying. And it's like, what happened? Mr. I went into the office, he told me to go and take the books, but when I got into the books, he looked, so they'll start, and their tears. If I get pregnant, what am I going to tell my parents? If I have the children now, what am I going to do? And they say he has AIDS, so, the child will be in just... So all of that, and for how long he has treated this man for 3 good semesters. He dealt with me mercilessly because I wouldn't open my legs to him. Now it was time for him to get a taste of his own medicine. So as he's coming, he always walked with a stick. That man, actually most of those teachers, they will sleep with sticks, they'll wake up with sticks. Even in their dreams, they'll be dreaming about beating their students. So he's coming in the class with already a stick in his hand. And among the people that he will call out, it will be Bakahati, which it was a nickname that he had given to me. Dawali. Get over there. But what did I do, mister? Are you talking back at me? Are you challenging me? Eh? Who are you to challenge me? Where's the homework? It's here. Well, now you're still gonna get beat up, because why should I have to ask you for the homework? But you say that when you walk into the class, you know, you will give you the homework. Hey, but I still, so he will find every reason. It was good to beat the guy up. Honestly. Yeah, I still had to repent about it. But at that time it was, you know, it was like he was screaming, but he can't scream because he swallowed. When he opens his mouth, he swallows the sand. So he couldn't scream, so he just says, So he got pepper in every place that has a hole. Because he was not just devouring girls, he was devouring boys. There was boys that could not hold anything in anymore. That it would just run out. So they will sodomize these boys. So maybe if you get a taste of your own medicine. So as we beat him, it's like, why are we beating you? Repeat. Because I sodomize the boys. Because I rape the girls. Because I'm infecting. So you just agree as we beat you. Are you going to do it again? He knew our voices. Oh, yeah, he did. After we are done, we take the clothes. He spits out the sand because we still want to talk to him. And he's like, why did you get punished? He said, because I was being a bad boy. Because I was being a bad boy. Are you going to do it again? No. I'm like, no, you're going to do it again. But remember, I will be watching you. You have decided to make my life a living hell. I am going to be the Satan in your life. You will pass me that class this time around. Do you understand? And you will not bully me again. Or any other girl. This time around it was you. But if I hear it again, I am coming after you and your wife and your children. And I will do exactly this thing against you in front of your wife and your children. Do we have an agreement? So he would walk naked and we are laughing. We would really laugh. He would try to cover himself and he's in pain, and sometimes he can't walk and he has to pose like this to try to hold himself, and he, you know, he talks about that I have to use the washroom. I feel like diarrhea, and it's like, So now you know the boys that you do that to, how they feel. If I just hear just one that will complain about you again, I will finish you in front of your children. Was I like this before? You have tried the most and now deal with it. You made the bed, lie in it. So he would go, would laugh, would humiliate him, would call him, woo-hoo-hoo, you know, those kind of sounds, and the next day he can't come to work. That day, it will be like, well, Uncle Moses cannot come to work. There was an emergency. His mother was sick, so he had to go and see the mother. But, you know, he will be back in a couple of days. It's like, oh, we already know what we did. Sick mother, my foot. Which sick mother? Probably had to go to get himself treated. Because down there was fire. And I know it was fire because I had experienced that fire myself. and I know how it really hurts. But I did not pity him. And honestly speaking, I still don't. These teachers put a lot of children in their early grave. They removed a lot of wombs. Because there is some girls that will get, that will actually get pregnant, and they'll give them weird herbs to drink, and then when they know that they are pregnant and they're trying to get them to abort the baby, that is the day that, oh, you know, go home, you're not feeling well, so that the girl can just die in her parents' house or even on the way, so that the school will not be responsible. A lot of death, they were trying to die, you know, they'll come to class and be like, well, this person, you know, they could not make it today because blah, 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 blah. But we knew before the girl would go, she would talk to us. So we knew why she was leaving. And she would be told that, you know, go and abort the baby. And if you tell your parents, we will deny it. Just say that it was this boy that did it. So some poor innocent guy is actually gonna get it because the pregnancy will be pinned on him. And again, and I also watched something that most times, you know, because when the time to shower, we usually went at the same time. So most of these girls, when they come back from their very night activity, they'll buy Sprite. Sprite was very popular at the canteen, because when they you know, the teacher or the student will sleep with them that is a male, they'll get the bottle, that the bottle of the soda, the Sprite, and they'll go to the washroom and they'll empty the Sprite in their privates to prevent the pregnancy. So even if those girls really did survive, can you imagine what they did to their bodies? A whole bottle of Sprite, and you open wide like this and you pour, and then you have to wait a couple of hours and you pour another one, in the attempt of killing the whatever pregnancy that would have showed up, because, you know, you slept with everybody at night and now you're trying to prevent the pregnancy. And some of them will be bragging about it. So when one of them will be like, oh, I'm pregnant, and it's like, you dummy, don't you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to be getting the Sprite, and you're supposed to, don't wait for many hours. You know, the moment you're done with it, go and get the Sprite. So they'll buy the Sprites and keep it in their case, just reserved for those moments. I watched a lot of things. But listen, I was being tormented by demons to pay much attention to what these people were doing, or to even pay much attention to the so-called boys. I had a lot of boys that were coming after me, a lot of them. But you know, whenever I'll try to consider one, I'll go into a dream and it will be a nightmare, and that boy will be in it. Ugh. And I'll wake up. Of course, I don't try. I don't try anything, Because if I try it, that dream is going to become a reality, because that's how my life is. I'll dream it and it will become a reality. I did have a crush though on Angel. That's the son of that same woman. I had a crush on him. It's just that he was younger than me. It was like he was like a little brother to me, and I was way too shy to even tell him. So I would get, I would write a letter to him, but I would not put my name on it. I'll put some person's name. And it's like, if you're interested, go and stand under the tree, and I'll meet you. So I'll go under, I'll hide. And the boy will show up, and he will be waiting under the tree. But I'm in the other trees, actually watching him standing over there waiting. So every girl that will be passing, he's just looking. Is that the one? Is that the one? But I'm in the trees over there watching him. I was a coward. I couldn't do it. I will summon up my courage. Today is the day. I am going to tell Angel that I have feelings for him. So I'll put my torments aside sometimes, because you're still a teenager. You're still a girl at that time. I was around 9 or something. I wasn't a teenager yet. But the spirit of lust that was going around, of course, it was affecting me. It's just that whenever I try to do something, that voice will traumatize me. But I was really bounded and said that I'm going to approach this boy. When the time comes, I'll be behind the tree hiding until he will wait and get tired. And even the ones that will approach him, oh hi Angel, oh hi, and then he'll wait for something, and then she will walk away because it was not her. So I ended up, by the time I left school, the boy still didn't know. I had a crush on him for at least 4 years. And not even one time did I confess anything. That's a real coward. That's a real coward. And you will send the so-called love letters. Oh, I love you. My heart beats for you. Which heart? When you're so young, you actually think that you have already imagined your life with him. And he's the one. And oh, my heart. Stupidity of the highest. Because now I don't even remember how he looks like. And yet at that time, oh, my heart. So anyway, and maybe it was just a good thing that I really didn't, because this is the month of December is the one that had put me in endless covenants and rituals and everything. So, but I guess the heart wants what the heart wants. So down. I'm sorry. Just thinking about the so-called love letters that I was writing. Imagine you stay up the whole night writing or the whole page, pouring out your heart, and you don't even have the guts to even send it. You don't have any. And even finally, when you send it, he'll be waiting, but he has no idea what he's waiting for. I don't think the boy is alive right now, because again, a lot of them died. So, and the woman herself, she's no longer that puffed up and I'm rich, and now she's something. Don't play with God. He may lay low for a long time, but when he stands up, you look for even hell will not contain you. Even hell will not be too hard for you when he starts dealing with you. So anyway, that was the school. Many destinies destroyed, Many wombs were destroyed. The boys, they were using, because you know, the satanic agents in that school that Satan had planted in there, whenever they will sleep with this boy, they will collect the sperm of this boy. That's generations. So when they collect these sperms, it's not just to bind you, it's not just to destroy the favors and all of these things. It's disgusting. So please bear with me. I said I'll not spare any details, and that's why I do advise a lot that you do not have your children with you. The sperms were food to these people. They would eat it because it contained life. So to them, it was like renewed energy, renewed strength. Then they'll get even more powerful. So if a demon had, started losing its power, it will suck upon those things that has been collected, and then somehow it will regain its power. Or even the satanic agents, if they had started losing their power and now they're getting weak and they're getting beat up, maybe they can't disappear anymore, or something has happened, the blood, if they can get to the blood or the sperm, they will deal with even a church. They can take down that church. And the minister of God, if you don't have the power of God operating in your life, they'll take you down very fast. So yeah, they did that with boys. So as the girls were doing things, the boys too were doing things. Some boys they did not even know what was going on, because the deep sleepers, and maybe God just has mercy on you, but that they don't touch you, He's preserving you. So you will just sleep your whole night away, and you will not even realize what had just happened. So a lot of things really do happen in school. And I know some parents will take their children to boarding school in a way of protecting them. You do not know where you're taking them to. You don't know. That is where all the things go down. All the things go down. They get initiated into witchcrafts. And them too become satanic agents. There is demons possessing people, but there is also satanic agents that are just there to work for the kingdom of darkness. Some of them willingly, some of them they don't even know. It's just that at night they sleep and the spirit again it gets taken out, and then they find themselves underwater. They find themselves, whatever altar that they had initiated them at, whatever it is that they had put them at, that is where they will be finding themselves. So if you are one of those people that you keep dreaming that you find yourself in a particular place, I'm always flying. Pray and cancel that. I'm always under the tree and I cannot move and I want to leave, but I have chains, or there is a power that is just pulling me, and I'm always eating, and there is a lot of things. I'm always having sex with this person or that person, because the demons wear different faces to come at you. Most times it's even the people that you know, so they wear the face of the person that you know, so that when you see them in the dream you're like, ooh, especially those that you have crushes on. So they'll come in those faces so that you do not hesitate to sleep with them. But as you sleep, you get into a covenant with them. You end up with a spiritual wife, you end up with a spiritual husband, and then you can't just stop being on heat. And it gets so bad that this spiritual husband, it gets to a point where they can appear to you live and use you. It gets to a point where you're going to get married, and this spiritual husband or spiritual wife will kill the person you are going to marry. Cause death in the family. Cause accidents. Cause delays. Cause misfortunes. And a lot of them was what? Through the dreams or through the sexual stuff that you had with some girlfriend or some boyfriend. There is a reason why the Bible really talks about husband and wife, not boyfriend and girlfriend. That is one of the most corrupted thing that, you know, came with civilization. The more man wanted to civilize themselves, become more intelligent, become more free, you know, they'll take the laws of God and be like, no, that's bondage. I want to have freedom. I want to do my own thing. I want to get away with whatever I want to. If I feel like having a boyfriend, I'm gonna have one. If I feel like having a girlfriend, I'll have one. If I want to sleep around, I'll have one. Right now you have girls that have absolute no shame, that they will sleep with even 100 guys a day and post it and call themselves influencers. And then you have blinded girls and blinded boys that will be subscribing to such channel. Influencers, and it's always follow me, follow me. Follow you to where? So that you can lead me to the same hell you're going to. What kind of influence is that? What are they influencing? What are they adding on your life? Where you're following them to where? To know how to sleep with 100 guys a day? To know how to abort all the children? To know how to be rebellious to your parents? And be a menace to society? Influencers. Yeah, demonic influencers. Follow. If I've seen a generation that just follows, these ones are not sheep anymore. I think even a sheep will have a little tiny common sense. Well, not really, but you know, you get the point. They'll just go and watch whatever, and oh, they have already subscribed, they have already started following, and whatever video, they can't even wait until this person uploads a video upon come to work with me, come and wake up with me, come and do my bed with me. What's my business? Is it that I don't have my own bed to make? Or I don't have my own life to live, that I'll be waking up with you and following you to the store with you? I don't even know you. You see how dumb that is? And yet these are people that really have a lot of subscribers. They'll get to a point they get so puffed up, I'm famous. Yeah, the devil is famous as well. Right? So we have to like wake up. Wake up. So when you are adding yourself with this partner, with that partner, now the things I'm talking about, I used to do them myself. I'll put them in other videos. So I had to grow out of that. And then you look back and it was like, you know, what society called normal. And when you're not doing it, you are a weirdo. You are antisocial. You are, you know, homophobic. You are all of these things. It's better to be called all of those names and sleep in peace and be at peace with your maker. It's better that way. At least you're not struggling with this thing and struggling with that through this sexual thing. They introduce sickness in your life. They introduce failure in your life. Backwardness in your life. Almost there, never there. My life is almost getting there. And then all of a sudden you put back. Start to zero. You find yourself in the same baby class, old school. I used to have those dreams for at least 15 years. All the time something good was happening in my life, I would find myself in that same school that I'm talking about right now. That's why I'm mentioning these names. The school is called Brilliant Chicks. At that time it was called Brilliant Chicks Primary School. I think it's in Makindye Division or something. Every single time something good was coming in my way. Even finishing my post-secondary, it was hard. I had so many setbacks. Because whenever something is happening, I will see in the dream, I am back again even wearing their uniforms. And doing those little dances that we used to do in baby class. And I'll see that same headmistress. Most of the time I'm tied up. The video will come where I'm talking about now when God started releasing me from all of these bondages. It was a lot of bondages. Until now, I see one and then it's like break that one too. And then you have a nice rest, and then somehow when something good again is about to happen, another one comes up and it's like, but now the grace of God is there. It's like, they try to fight that good thing and the Lord is like, break that one too. Because the power is there to break it. We have an enforcer that he will enforce those blessings. The favor, he will enforce it. But you have to be in partnership. You're working together. You're not going to expect the enforcer to actually be enforcing all of these good things in your life when you're just lazing around and it's like, well, that is just life. That is just how our family really operates. You will be like that for the rest of your life. Look at the videos of people that really, they were born poor. They died poor. And their grandfather was a drunkard. He died in alcohol. It was the alcohol that killed him. Then you have the father. He went the same way. Alcohol killed him. You have the son. Also alcohol killed him. You have the grandson. Also alcohol killed him. And you're going to sit over there and be like, yeah, my family, they're just drunkards. I mean, they will just drink themselves to death. No, my dear, you have a principality that has been assigned against your family. A covenant was made against your family. And it's that demon that is actually operating in your family. And the kingdom of darkness has assigned that specific demon on your case, so that every person that will come, with every male, sometimes they go in order, every male that is born, the moment before you were even born, because in the spiritual world, the covenant is already there. So by the time you actually finally manifest, you're just a baby crying, you're already under that covenant. And then it's just a matter of time. And then that spirit that has killed your great-grandfather, your grandfather, your father, even your older sibling, it will reach you. But God has called us to be covenant breakers. That evil spirit, that ancestral spirit that is governing your life, that is taking everybody in the same way in your life, it will end on you. That the next generation after you, they will be freed. So if it's alcohol, the demon of alcohol that is just finishing every male in your family, and the females, even if they get married, they will never have children. Remember, God will show kindness even to the third or fourth generation, to those that love him and to those that hate him. Third and the fourth generation, they'll be under that same curse. So you cannot tell me that those curses don't exist. Read in the Bible. Even in the lineage of David, there was a blood curse that really finished up almost everybody. If it wasn't for the favor that God had put on David and the promise that he had put on David, David went for a long time. His lineage went for a long time without actually having someone. Because it was that blood. The sword would not leave your family. But God had to reserve it because Christ had to come through it. So you see, those curses can go all the way to the 10th generation. A curse that every girl that is born in our family, they die the moment they hit 15. It has been like that for generations and generations. So then they'll try to hurry them up to get married, because the moment they hit 15, gone. And you have some people that will sit and say, well, that is just the way God has designed us. No, he didn't. Go into a spiritual war and he will reveal it. I know, because that's my life. All this time that I'm talking about, and this covenant, this and this covenant, that, at that time I would see that, okay, there is this that has been done, but with understanding, I did not understand, and I did not even know how severe that was. And things will go wrong, and it will go wrong, and I'll be there crying like, Lord, why? This job is coming. A shadow will rise up and stand right in front of me. I'll see that in the dream. The moment they are calling me about a job, this shadow will rise up, stand right in front of me, and I'll see the employer that was going to employ me have papers, a letter of appointment that you have gotten the job, and he'll be looking for me, or she will be looking for me. But I thought we saw them there. And I'm like, yes, I'm here. But there was a shadow standing right there, and they couldn't see me. And then before you know it, the people that had already said, oh, you have gotten a job, all of a sudden, unfortunately. I don't know how many times I got the unfortunately. 9 good years. I got unfortunately until I got tired. What was that? Bondages. So when I'm talking about these things, take them seriously. I'll go into them in depth, and you will see. Do not play with this spiritual stuff. Unless you get a breakthrough in the spiritual, forget it being manifested in the physical. You will be frustrated, you will be in rejection, you will be cursed, you will go through all of these things, and yet it will stay right there. And God respects covenant. So unless you come now and take on the new covenant that is written and is sealed by the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ, and become a new creation, so that that blood can cancel every other covenants, because that covenant speaks better things for us, but it will not speak for you if you're just those regular Christians that, you know, are just there. It will not speak. You always be singing about the blood and how it breaks the covenant, and you're living in frustration. And most of these things is not ancestral spirits. It's not some evil covenant that was made against you before you were even born. No. Most of them is self-inflicted. You were kissing some guy or some girl. You had sex with some girl or some guy you were not married to. In the spiritual world, you get connected with them. They have now gone with a part of you. Especially for us ladies, we retain a part of them in our bodies, and it will stay there. So I don't know whether to feel sorry for this very stupid generation that they find I don't know, it's like an accomplishment that you have slept with 100 guys. You're so proud of yourself, you're even making a video about it. How foolish. You couldn't do that, like, I don't know, like 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. You will stay with your shame. But now, thanks to these demonic governments that we have, that are passing their demonic agendas, now someone like that has the mouth, the audacity to be talking about that, you know, hi guys, yesterday, you know, you will not guess, I slept, you know, with this guy, with this guy, with this guy, with this guy. You're 20. And then later on, some unfortunate guy is going to marry you. You don't have a womb anymore. You finally got married, but you're miserable in that marriage because you carried all of these people that you even intentionally slept with, and you thought you were accomplishing something. One day, it will catch up to you, madam. I am not angry. This is just how usually I teach my class, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I sound hard or, you know, maybe annoyed. I'm just used to this kind. But before God, I have an obligation before God to speak the truth, and I am not here to spare anyone's feeling, because I will please my Lord. I rather, I'm sorry, but you know, I'd rather be in bad terms with you, but in good terms with my Maker, because He matters more. So I will say it as I'm led to. But then after that, you make your choice. You don't really have to take my words. I'm not here to force anyone to listen. Like I have said from the very first video, these videos will go to the people that they were ordained for. I don't want it to spread around the world. No. It's only for those people that are meant to listen to it, to learn from it, to get encouragement from it. So those, please bear with me. I am not screaming at you, but I just want you to understand the severity of this matter. When we are doing these things, we do not think about them. But later on in life, it will be catching up. And when it fully catch up, you look back and you regret. And truly, I wish that I had, the teaching all throughout my life. I wish someone was sitting with me and tell me that, doing this and doing this, it's not just wrong, because you hear that, oh, that is wrong and that is wrong. But what makes it wrong? You just tell me that it's wrong. But what really makes it wrong? And what are the consequences of it? So that if I decide to do it, then I'll know that really I'm doing this thing now, know that sleeping with someone that is not your husband or your wife is wrong, because you're going to end up with all of these covenants, all of these agreements, all of these bondages, all of nice, just spiritual stuff, but also physical. You're going to end up with these infections and these bacteria and these diseases, and there is so many names that are now coming up that are related to sexual diseases. So even if you don't want to, listen about the spiritual, at least pay attention to the physical, because even the physical is bad. That is, the physical sometimes can be treated, but the spiritual, the years of deliverance you're going to need. So those are the ones that you'll be seeing, that we have been trying with the AVF, and we have been trying with this thing, we have been trying with all these methods, and nothing is just working out for us. Really, madam? Really, mister? Did you look back on all those girls you impregnated and you denied that pregnancy? Did you look back on those girls that you lavished and you thought you would not face any consequences? You denied their pregnancy. Well, it's not mine. And she carried that whole thing and she suffered with that whole thing. You went ahead with your life. You just ran around with all the other girls. It will catch up to you. And every abortion that is made, that blood is also on you. It's not just on the girl, it's also on you. When that little soul is crying out to God, it's not just against the mother, it's against you too. Because maybe if you took your responsibility, it wouldn't have been choked up. But you went ahead with your life. It's not mine. And there you go. You run off with Deborah. You run off with this one. You run off with all of those things. And the heartbreaks that you have left throughout your life. Every tear that this girl cried, because she actually genuinely loved you, and you just deceived her. Every tear that she cried, God will put it upon you. And don't be surprised if you end up alone at your old age, wondering where I went wrong with my life. How come I had children, but my children don't even want to talk to me? My wife divorced me. She ran off with a neighbor or with her boss. And as karma came and took all my money. And now my left leg can't move anymore. I'm paralyzed. I ended up with some cancer that now I have to be on medication the rest of my life. You see, when we go through all of those, we do not look back on what may have caused it. But if you're truly innocent and you go through them, God sometimes just has his reasons. So it's not every person that suffered that did evil. Sometimes it's for training, character building, and sometimes it's just for his glory. Like that blind man, his parents didn't sin, he didn't sin, and yet he was blind for many years. So there is those two. But there is all those two that the Lord will heal and tell, do not sin anymore. Because if you sin that thing, it was going to come back on you. But in order to know, is that when something happens, inquire upon the Lord. Lord, why is this happening? He speaks. He speaks. He will tell you, maybe this is an exam for you. It's a trial for you. Or maybe, remember that thing that you did before? I have forgiven you. But you still, he forgives us about a lot of things. But there is just some things that even though he has forgiven us, it will still catch up to us. That is just the laws. That's his own laws, and he cannot break his own laws. So we have to be careful. That's the reason I talked so much about that school. Because for many years, I was married to one demon and another and another and another. And they knew my name. And also, you are my wife. In my whole life, God is my judge with the Bible right here in my hand. I have never touched anything with witchcrafts, with any sorceries, with demonic powers. I have never. Have I fallen into fornications? Yes. Lied many times. Stolen many times. Was treated someone evil? But when it comes to touching the demonic things, so this, you know, the spiritual husbands that I ended up with, a lot of them came from the school, a lot of them came from the stepmother, a lot of them also came from those people that used to shower their things and just dump it on me. And a lot of them came from another guy called Enoch, which I'll talk about too. So it was from one thing to another, that when I was seeking deliverance, I'll sleep. In a few minutes, I have seen this and this and this and that. Wake up, pray, go back to sleep. You get the victory over that. But then another one shows up. So in just one night, you have had at least 6 different kind of bondages that God has showed you. But he also, you know, he will show you. You wake up. By the time you wake up, he's already there. You pray, and you know, he breaks that. So he shows you that the victory is there. Because you go back to sleep, he shows you you have defeated that one. But then as you're walking, you see another one. I fasted. I prayed until I almost just died because I was too skinny. Because it was just one bondage to another. And I just cry because it's like, Lord, I did not get myself into this. How is it that now I have to face all of these things? And I had ancestral spirits also from my father's side. Also from my mother's side. Until I got tired. I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough. I accept. You see, since there is too much. Been fasting. Been praying. Victory upon victory. But more rises up. And more rises up. You got tied in the rivers. You got tied in the underground. You got tied in the forest. You got tied in the toilet. You got everywhere. Until I was like, Lord, thank you for the many. He fought. He really fought. Every single moment he's breaking this, breaking this. He's not just showing me that, okay, this is done. But he will show me the foundation of that problem. I ended up with that in the occultism. Even those two took my spirit there too and initiated me in some kind of occultism. I will see myself being surrounded by these occultic men. I will see myself being surrounded by these witches. And it's like, Lord, how did I end up there? And the people, most people that I knew, that I thought were people, are the one that convened me there. Before I even had any common sense. So when I say pray, I mean it. God was even more determined to get me those deliverance than I was. Because I started losing hope. There were too many until I was like, okay, you see, no problem. I'll die the way that I am. If I never succeed, it's okay. But I'm tired of these endless battles. But he didn't give up. He's like, so sometimes I'll refuse to pray and he will still just show me that, okay, that's broken. And that too is broken. And that too. So he will calm down. I'll talk about the time that God came down. I saw the Lord Jesus with my eyes many times. I've walked with him. I've seen angels. So he was determined to get me deliverance. All those times that I'll get tired and I'll just be like, leave me. It's like, wake up and pray. Nah. You see these bondages, if they like, let them stay. He was determined. So when I refuse to wake up to pray, sometimes he'll get my poor little girl. So he will start praying. And I know that sometimes he moved upon other people to pray for me. Maybe they didn't even know why they were praying for me. And I know that he will get some people to pray. Because I had to pray for a lot of people that I'll never meet in my life. And the many that I know that don't even know it. And I've broken a lot of their bondages and they will never know it. And I will not mention any names. And so they will get, promotions and they'll get a job. They'll get a brand new car. And, they are rejoicing and it's like, they'll get the healing finally. And it's like, because God will do anything. And all he wants is one person that will actually yield. Watch him get to work. He's very hardworking. Very hardworking. He's so set up to destroy this kingdom. It's like it brings him pleasure. So when you yield yourself to pray, oh, the gates of hell are gonna shake. Even hell itself, it will shake, because that is the time that you go down there and challenge Satan himself, and Satan will run away. It's not you, it's not me, but it's Christ. So sometimes you're just too tired to pray, and he will just take over. You'll even be praying, but you're sleeping. Why break? Why break? But it's him that is now praying in a very tired body. But he will still get it done. So I have seen the Lord. He was determined. He permitted these things, but he was also determined that at an appointed time, he will make known of all that has been done. And he exposed held my enemies. I know all my enemies. I know them. I don't go after them, because the battle is for the Lord. It belongs to him. He told me, trust me, and I'll fight for you. I'll feed them with their own blood. I'll kill their children. Some of them have already gotten it. So just trust him. If today you are in bondage, and you know your life is just not moving, you have tried this way, nothing. You have tried that way, nothing. And you keep hearing that if you just work hard, you will be successful. You have worked hard. You are always taking up extra shifts. You are always the one that you will work even on Sundays, but you still lived in the same house, still did the same job, no promotions. In fact, you get demoted, and the little kid that just finished, just graduated, just comes in and really takes the high position, and they don't even know what they're doing. And you have been sitting there, you have sacrificed so much for your company, but they do not even see your efforts. It's either God is leaving you in that place for his own reasons, or you have a demon or demons that are working hard to make sure that you do not prosper. You do not prosper. You will stay in the same place, or get lower and lower and lower. But don't worry, there is hope. There is hope. If you can seek the Lord, he will exalt you. He's the God that trains our hands to war. And he's the God that teaches us how to prosper. Seek him. He's more ready to help you than you even realize. So hope is not lost. Don't lose hope. Take courage. Encourage yourself from now on. Just like Daniel, determine something in your heart and say that today is the day that I'm going to take what belongs to me. And there is some people that truly have the money. It's not the money that they suffer from, and maybe they have good health, and maybe they have good family, but they just can't get a peace of mind. Every single time it's like something is always there, working against their mind. They have no peace even when they are trying to sleep. It's just there, just eating upon their peace and taking away their peace. And even though they have a job that they love, even going to work is a problem. Waking up is a problem. Their beautiful wife looking at her is a problem. To get even good sleep, they have to be on medication. I have a prescription for you. He's called Jehovah Shalom. You see that King of Peace? The Prince of Peace? He's more willing to give you that peace more than you desire. Call upon him today and say, Papa, you died for my peace. You have already paid the ultimate price on Calvary. So I want to claim that peace because you have given it to me, and the devil has no right to it. You don't have to go on your knees and make long prayers. Just be sincere in your heart and humble yourself and cry out to him. He will come so fast. He's that friend that is ever near. He's that father that is ever near. He's that Jehovah Raphael that is just always willing to just get you out of that condition. Lift up your voice to him, even if you don't know how to pray. With sincere heart. You don't know how to pray? Just say, Lord, I need you. You are the Prince of Peace. Give me that peace that surpasses all understanding. And if you're not a Christian, a real Christian, not these make-believers, the churchgoers, but a real Christian, say that, Lord, now I will come to you. I will accept you as my Lord and my personal Savior. And I will walk with you. Just help me. I know he will. If you are stuck in a loveless marriage, and no matter what you have done, it just does not work. You have even tried praying and fasting, and it just seems to be just getting worse and worse and worse. We have a mighty conqueror who can stand against the Lord, our God. Which army can stand against the Lord of all lords? The only wise God, the great Elohim, the eternal God. Who can stand? The first time I saw his hand, I looked at his hand and I'm like, truly, who? Because as he stretched it to me like this, I was like this little tiny thing, and I'm just holding on. This gigantic, he just did a finger like this, and I'm holding on to the tip of his finger like this because I was that small. The hand was all the way to the heavens. You don't even see the beginning of it. And in another time when he stretched down his hand and I had to climb on it, and he put me on his shoulder, which all of it I'll share with you. You look at that hand. Truly, who can go against that hand? The hand that can destroy this entire universe like this. Is it witches? Is it sorcerers? Is it Lucifer, whoever he calls himself? No wonder the Bible tells us that he that is in me is greater than he that is in the world. What shall separate us from the love of God? Is it trials, tribulation, death, principalities, the rulers of darkness, all of these things? What? Not even the angels. Not even that devil. So my dear, wherever you are, do not lose peace. Do not give up hope. The help of the helpless is your stronghold. And his name is the Lord Jesus Christ. In case you are one of those that still believe in trinities, but remember, there is one God. The Lord your God is one God. So try calling upon the name that is above every name. At the mention of Jesus Christ, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. So Satan has to bow, not to you, not to me, but at the mention of that mighty one. Many times I've been in spiritual battles that you just think about it. Sometimes they block your mouth that you can't say it, but you just think about it, or it just comes into your heart, and the devil trembles. I've seen Satan run away like a coward, and I'll run after him. It was not me, because if it was not Christ in me, it would destroy me in just a second. So don't try to challenge that devil or any of those witches without first receiving Christ for real. Not just you pronouncing it with your mouth and just, singing about it. No. Actually, you have to accept him in your mouth, in your heart, and confess him with your mouth. Let him be the king of your heart. Take over your whole soul so that he can transform you. So that loveless marriage is not the end. God can still restore it. God is the God that plants in his garden and watches over his garden and waters it day and night. And if you are his garden, he waters you, he has planted you, he watches over you day and night, lest the enemy come to destroy you. Trust in him. Don't put your trust in a man. Cursed is he that puts their faith or their trust in a man. That is the problem we have today. Many times we are directing our trust to humans, and in doing so you become a curse. The Bible said it, it's done. If you want to debate about it, that's your problem. I am saying what the Bible says. It's good to trust people, because it's kind of hard not to actually walk with someone you don't trust. But the actual trust that we are talking about is always when you have a problem, you run to so and so, you run to this pastor, you run to this prophet, you run to this, and in doing so, many people have perished. They have ended up with fake pastors that have used them for money rituals. because you're running to this pastor, that man of God, this woman of God, this so-called prophetess. My goodness, there is so many of those prophetess and Dr. so and so and Reverend Bishop something. Examine those spirits. Examine those spirits before you call upon the so-called man of God. And God truly has put a fivefold ministry to help his children. But that fivefold ministry will never replace the Holy Spirit, because he's the head of the church. You can go to your pastor and seek godly counsel and talk to him when you have a problem, so he can pray with you. But remember, God is the one that will deliver you. When that person, whether it's your mother, whether it's your best friend, whether it's this person, that always when something happens, you always run to that person. God may make it happen that, you know, most times you need them, they will not be there. Why? So that you can actually have a priority. And you will know that God is your priority. Call them. Inquire upon them. Love them. Respect them. But never let them take the place of God in your life. You will become an idolater. Because why? God created you so that you can need him. And as you need him and you yearn for him, he's the only one that will fill that void and bring deliverance in your life. I can say this with all the sincerity that I have in me. I cannot contribute my deliverance to any person. I cannot say that this person have been prayed for. And I do believe in the prayers. But when it came to deliverance, I had to see God himself come down. And I do know that the prayers that were offered for me, whether it's this sister or that brother or this man of God or this whatever, you know, I do believe in those prayers, and I do know that God works in those prayers. And I appreciate all the prayers. And I would really love, you know, those prayers. But when it comes to deliverance, I have had to meet God face to face. Because the things that I'm dealing with, those are not something that, you know, if God chooses to deliver you in that way, truly, because he deals with us in different ways. My deliverance comes from him. He has to come down, and most times he also sends the poor angels. So, which, you know, one of them still, I feel like he has a grudge on me because I completely forgot his name. I still remember Peace because I named him Peace, but the other one I completely forgot his name. I'm sorry. But, you know, so most times God had to calm down, or he will send an angel, or he will give me, you know, okay, he will give me a dream of that deliverance. But he had to calm down, because the things that I was facing, those are the things from the pits of hell. It's not some headache. It's not some I have back pain. Now, we are talking about covenants, ancestral spirits, covenants of the witches of the highest order. We are talking about rulers of the kingdom of darkness. We are talking about spiritual wickedness in high places. We're talking about those giants. Just like the way he called me into my salvation, he came by himself. He also decided to take my case upon himself. So, deliverance is like, wake up, pray. He's there waiting. Always waiting. So don't lose hope. He may send someone your way. And if you have a pastor, a home pastor, a godly man, inquire upon that man, because he's a man of God. God has put him in your way. So inquire upon him and seek counsel truly. Right? So any condition that you are in yourself today, no matter how bad it is, He's able to deliver you. Some deliverance may take a long time. Some deliverance, I have seen deliverance where you pray for a person with all kinds of problems, and instantly it's like it just drops off. Even though for you there is some deliverance, you still, God has a very a very strange sense of humor, and they'll get delivered. Even if it's like a very horrible sickness, they'll just get, it's gone. And you're still crying about that, headache that you have had for days. But it doesn't matter, because He's God. He will do as He pleases. And truly, most of these people were not even Christians. And He will give them such a mighty deliverance. Others, because of the anointing around, they will give their hearts to Christ. But later on, they'll wake up. They'll walk away. He's a very generous God. Very generous. He will give you big stuff, even though He still knows you're going to walk away from it. That's why we don't rely on gifts and the things and the calling and the blessings and whatever. He gives to those that even don't know Him or even don't want to know Him. And He gives them real riches. And you will find a person that is very dedicated to Him and they are poor. And even a poor person will call them poor. And the rat in the church will call this person poor, that he doesn't want to go in their house because they have nothing to offer. And yet they have diligently served the Lord. How do you explain that? But in His time, that's something that I've had to learn the hard way. In His time, He will make all things beautiful. And just because you have run faster than me, or someone has run faster than you, and you are taking those you feel like you're not even taking a step at all. Everybody just seems to be running. And the steps are barely there. But listen, when He decides to lift you up, you will sing praises unto His name. So there is hope for those that hope in the Lord, and whose hope is the Lord. To think that now I can sleep peacefully and have normal dreams sometimes. Well, my dreams are still pretty much messed up. But not in like covenants and whatever, witches and whatever. Nah, it's just seeing things that really have nothing to do with me. Well, sometimes it does have something to do with me, but I'm still, but at least now I can actually rest up without being chased by a gigantic snake that want to marry me. Because I was given to eat as a bride, or being stalked by the lizards or the mouses. In our house we used to have those mouses. They were called Musonso. And the other ones, they were called Insomba Biuma. Those are, I don't know if you're gonna call them cursed mouses or rats. Well, I still don't know the difference between a mouse and a rat, okay? I don't know. All I know is that they look alike, and they pretty much, to me, they are alike. Doesn't matter. But they were this big. When they show up, those were actually witches that will take on that form. They'll eat the money. Now, my stepmother was a top witch. She was known even in her village. We went to Congo, Goma, and she was, you know, the things we experienced that night. I don't know if my brother even still remember them. So she came from a family of those really ancient witches that had power to even disappear. Her entire family. But even her, sometimes she was actually scared of witches. It's weird. And she was always the one that will, don't go to that person's house, she's a witch, and that person is, well, she's a witch, and whatever. They are the one that are always pointing out witches. It's weird. So those rats will show up. They're as big as a big cat. I don't know if some of you have seen the movie Garfield. That cat is fat. Sorry, it's up to no good. So Garfield, imagine a rat that is as big as Garfield, but not as lazy. It's just as big. They will just show up. Really, there is no hole that they sneaked in. That's how you knew that it was spiritual things. All the doors are locked, all the windows are locked. But these rats, because I used to sleep close to the kitchen, had a big living room, and then what seemed like a corridor, but it was big enough for them to put a little room for me, a little curtain. So that was my little room, and then you had a kitchen. These rats, sometimes when they want to show up, that is the time that you're actually gonna somehow fall into sleep. So it will be after you wake up that you feel pain on your feet, and you wonder what happened, and you're gonna see teeth. They were chewing on your feet. They'll chew on my underwear. They used to eat my underwear. I hated them, but they were so strange and very picky. They do not want old underwears. They only take the good ones that you wear for Sunday, because you know you're so poor, so you have to have. By the way, my underwears and my clothes were leftovers from the stepmother. So most of them I had to get a penny, a counsel. I have a feeling I know what it's called. It's called in you know, it has a little head, and it, you know, you can squeeze it and it will attach itself in it. In Uganda it's called a chikwanso. So because they are her underwears, I will have to wear, they are so gigantic, so I'll put a chikwanso on. When it comes to those underwears, these rats, they were not interested. So those ones, you will leave them there, they will pass by them. But the one that daddy just got me, they'll chew those ones, and sometimes they take them, they disappear. You wear it one time, it's like they had to wait until you had to wear it, and then they'll take it. What is that? Enkwaso. What is enkwaso? Yeah, even after all these years, there is just some things you can't translate. And as you can hear, my accent is actually that bad. So I don't know if some of you will actually be able to hear me. But there is just so many things that I want to say, and maybe I'll make the videos that is just in Luganda, because there is a lot of things I'm not saying because I don't know how to translate them in English. So it's saying kwa, so it's coming, but it keeps going away. So yeah, they'll take that because they are witches, so that they have something that is a personal item. You have wore it, so it has things on it. Even if you washed it, you still wore it. That would disappear. Then before you know it, you are being chased. I'll find myself in a hole, a huge hole like this, full of snakes. There were so many snakes. They like to use cobras a lot, and a mamba. Mamba, that very deadly snake, the mamba. So I'll find myself in a hole full of those deadly snakes, and sometimes they'll just crawl on me. Ugh. The fear alone is almost killing you. But it's sometimes the hole is too big that you can't climb up, or sometimes you just end up, you're sitting in the middle and they were all around you. Everywhere you look, snakes ready to strike, and some of them will just be like this, trying to strike you, but somehow again God will just intervene and intervene in the whole situation, that I will really not be struck. But the way they always had that look, like the demons that I was seeing, and I was still seeing, and I still see even now. They always had that look of pure hatred towards you. They hate you so much. And it's like, I used to ask Satan, did I kill your mother? Was it your father that I killed? Or is it that I have more than one of your children? Did I make you fatherless? Did I cause your failure, that you hate me to this extent? Because Satan hates me so much, so much, until you wonder, what did I do to you? Why is it that every single time you appear, which is pretty much every day, they will appear? But these days I can at least go through a few days without seeing their ugly faces, and even when they show up, protected. So gone are the days that I used to run away from them years ago. Now I don't even need prayers. It's like, what are you doing here? This is not your house. This house has an owner. I think you can even see his picture in the back there. This house belongs to someone. You're trespassing. Get out. And he'll leave. Because he has no business in this place. In my life or in the life of my little one. Never. Never. So those are rats, that it will be witches that will transform into that kind of shape. They'll come at me. Sometimes, you open your eyes and it's really looking at you. It's staring at you. It's like, what's What's your problem? And somehow they will vanish after they have taken what they want. Most times they will take the money. They will even put a hole in a new pot. They'll eat the pot up and leave the top, but under they'll have eaten it. And those African pots are like this heavy, very tough. It's even hard to find them here. You have to go to African stores to get them. Not these, the so-called pots that they have here. They are very strange. So you have to actually get it from the Arabs or for the Africans, because they have real pots. But with those pots, if it falls on your foot, it will break it. And yet, for some reasons, this mouse is going to eat it. Not the whole thing, but just the part where, you put it on the stove, so that it becomes useless to you. The Sunday clothes, they'll eat those. They'll eat my uniform. The entire shirt, because it was a white shirt. They'll eat the entire shirt, and they'll do you a favor, just so that you can remember what they have done. So they'll leave you the, I think it's called a collar. You'll find it laying on the ground. They'll leave you a gift. They'll eat your new sandals. And we were poor. So that means that if they ate that your new sandal, you're going to be barefooted for a very long time before you get another one. Those musonso. The somba biuma. The somba biuma is like, those ones who come and carry anything metal. No matter how heavy it is. And you really you would search where they come from. You go and inspect the entire house, and it's like, how did they carry out? First of all, they are big. And they are carrying out something this big. Where did you pass? Like, how did you? Until I started dealing with them personally, then I realized that they were actually witches. So when they are ready to attack, they will just appear in that home. That home did not have any protection at all. First of all, the mama of that home is a witch. The papa of that home is living in sin. Me that is there, I'm just a tormented soul. At least my poor brother was always at school. But whenever he's at home, I don't know how much he still remembers. That was the life. So God has taken me from far away. And when it comes to poverty, my dear, we were so poor. Most times the landlord will be demanding for his money. My father would give him wahala. So the landlord will take off the roof. That day, me and my brother were gonna be with a little mattress or ejiteji that we are sleeping on, or the little mukeka that we have. We're just gonna be sleeping there, but you're not sleeping because conveniently that's when it's gonna rain. There is no roof, so the landlord will take off the roof and he will take off the main door. Sleep. You want to sleep in my house? Sleep in it. Conveniently, it will rain. So those that are sleeping on the bedroom, on their nice mattress, and us that are sleeping in the living room, we are suffering the same. So you spend the whole night just there shivering like this, because there is no rest for you. You're just shivering. Everything is soaked. And then they'll finally chase us out of this house. We'll go find. So we went from being actually, rich people. At least at that time, we were considered well off. That is the time that he was still serving a living God. Until compromise. The more he compromised, the more poor he became. So we went from being with large houses to now sleeping in the ghetto. We are sleeping close to I think it's called a sewage. Omwala mukoka wayitawo awatwaliramu. All the nasties will pass right there, and you're sitting right here. And then the time Ebola came, Ebola took a lot of people. The people in the neighborhood were crying, this one is dead, that one is dead. Cholera too came. Yeah, we were there at that time. And since we were living right at the Mwala, that sewage thing, we could have been the first one to even go. Because all the things that were passing right there is completely open. And then when it rains, it overflows until it even comes really right at the door. And mosquitoes were our best friends. They'll eat you until they get tired. They'll become so fat. The stomach, you're looking at this mosquito, it can't even breathe anymore because it's like, it has fed until you're looking at its stomach, it's red. All you see in that mosquito's belly is blood, your blood. See God. Even though we are living in such a place, the rich people were dying with cholera. The ones that sleep in their high-rise places, sleeping in their king mattresses and king beds, and they have even refrigerators in their rooms. And those were dying with that. And it's like, how did that affect you? God. I come from a messed up family, but we have the favor of God. He has kept us, and he fights for us. He really has fought for us. Ebola would come, and this one would do it right there, because it's a running stomach. Everything right there close to you. And because it travels by air, you are inhaling that air. But you're fine. Good. Again, that too took a lot of people. But we still survived. Good. And you would think that because we are living in such a very rundown place that we'll actually afford such a place. No. Even with that, the landlord will still chase us out of there because we haven't paid for like almost a year. And yet my father was working. Oh yeah. Most times you would wake up, he's already gone. He will come back very late. But if you're not serving God, you are under a curse. You will work hard, but you will not eat the fruit of your labor. The money will look at it, and it will go. I see a lot of that problem here. You see how people work and work and work. And the more they work, the poorer they get. And they will be, can you give me this, and can you give me this? They are under a devouring curse. So it's like, where do you put the money? You are always working. You saw for big people. Where's the money? We'll get chased out of school. We became a target of those that don't pay their school fees. We're gonna be on the top of that list. Before they even come in, you know that you're gonna go home. You're gonna be sent home. Most times you just walk into the class and it's like, yeah, what are you doing here? Your school fees is still not paid. Go back home. You walked so far away. Poverty. And yet, my father was working. Where was the money going? Strange women. Alcohol. Many other places. That man is not blessed. And if you are a man or a woman that is listening to me, if you are not under God's covenant, because you can still pay your tithes and still not be under God's covenant, He can still bless you. But there is still curses that will still follow you because you're still not under that covenant. You are not under that protection. So He can still bless you because He has to keep His word. But there is also other covenants that you still have to be under. There is also the pronouncements of blessings that you still have to be under. There is those many curses that if you don't do this, this will happen to you. If you don't do this, there is still all those curses. If you have any other God beside me, this will happen to you. If you do not follow my laws, this will happen to you. So you can pay your tithes, but you're living in fornication. You are still under those curses. So they will still follow you. There is people that will really pay their tithes so much. And yet, poverty. You look at them, they made it. They see the check with their eyes, they blink, it's gone. The devourer took it. Those little worms are always there to really dig through those blessings. So be in the Lord to avoid all of that. We really suffered until you had to beg for food or pick up the food that is being thrown on the ground. Or will you wait until it's time for lunchtime to visit your friends? Or just wait until they are done eating and you go through their garbage and eat from there. Why? Foundational issues, no protection whatsoever on the home there. No leadership in the house there. All they know is just, the woman just bucks and bucks and bucks. And then at some point she started working. So that means that, we had so much time. So we too, we will just go and go to the chibanda and watch films and divide our lunch. That okay, we're gonna divide our lunch. That's when we have the lunch. So they left out the lunch and be like, okay, you're gonna eat this throughout the day. Do you understand? Yeah. Wait until lunchtime. We'll be, we'll be looking at each other and be like, phew. What do they know? So the moment they leave, sometimes we'll skip school. We'll skip school. And just divide our lunch. And there we go. We just wander off and wander off. You barely see daddy. And now the mommy also now has work. So we can go play commander or commando, do the Bruce Lee's and the Jack Chan, because we have watched a movie, and now we're gonna go into someone's garden to practice those moves. And on top of that, of course, we're going to be stealing someone's money or their food. So it was a lot of things. It was a lot of challenges. Food was something. We went from having 3-course meals to 2 to 0. So when she would start working, we have to wait until she comes back. Although she was a wicked woman, there is some things that I'll still give her credit for. She was still a stepmother. But those times that dad did not provide, she would still use her money to buy, even if it was fufu and some, those little dried fish. We'll still have something to eat. So whatever time she comes back home, even if it's 10 p.m., she will send us, go get paraffin, go get charcoal, go get this. We start cooking, and then by the time it's midnight, we're eating. So go on. Most times there is no electricity. We are in darkness. Sometimes no candles, no tadoba, no lamps. So you're in darkness. But she was also wicked because, she wait for those moments to send me to a faraway boutique at night at around 10. And you're telling me to go get paraffin. I think we're still at, a boss's, houses. I used to hate that place. It was creepy because they had graves around it that belonged to that family. Since I'm weird and I really see things I should not, so that was a nightmare for me. It was a nightmare. You hear voices. The wind it will have voices. The atmosphere, the presence. It was awful. You'll be sitting there and then somehow woof, standing right beside you. And they will always try to intimidate you and stuff. And their house, the house of that landlord, was haunted by the spirit of the wife, his dead wife. Sometimes she actually came and possessed the son. She had a son called Mosisi. She would possess this boy, and then the first boy. She haunted that place. So sometimes I'll look at them, it's like, do they not see these things? No. If you even wander off and go to that house, you'll be looking for problem. Sometimes she'll just bust the door and just close the door in anger and just lock you up and start begging for mercy, because she was buried right at the back of that house. She haunted that place. The landlord had a new wife. She haunted that woman. She brought diseases upon that woman. I think eventually she killed her, because by the time the woman, I think, died, I don't remember who died first, either the husband or but I think she eventually killed them. She was such an angry, vengeful spirit. I don't know whether the woman killed her so that she can take over the household, but whatever her problem is, it was not my business to find out, because sometimes they just want to tell you things and I was not interested to know. So whenever I feel her presence, I'll just take off. But then sometimes she'll just lock me into the room, or into the whole house. That place too had issues. So it had the graves behind in the backyard, which was so creepy, and it also had the graves like when you walk a little far off. So when the electricity goes, that is when he's like, Esther, come and go and buy this. You walk in that very creepy place. It was extremely, very creepy. You walk with fear from the moment you leave home to all the way you go praying. So it's like, and you feel the winds just coming, just wooing around you like this. And they can be very, I don't know the word to use. Oh my goodness. So it's like, you know, they'll come and get into as a wind and go into a tree and shake it violently. Just to make you afraid. And then it's like you see a shadow on top of the grave. So what I used to do, and I had to repent about that, but I know that the Lord understood. I was just trying to survive. So what I used to do is that as I'm walking in that creepy place, this side, darkness, that side, darkness, the upper side, graves, and you have to pass through them to go to that boutique. And closer to that is where that the child that I talked about earlier that had AIDS, she was creepy. She was a complete skeleton, so she lived right there. So then, you know, all of that is coming back into your mind, how she looks like, and then the graves and the trees that are just, and the winds that are just, you know, trying to lift you off. So I beg, I did not want any problems. So most times I'll come with all my fear. I'll go kneel on those graves. And I'll say, good evening, sirs. I'm just asking, and I'm pleading with you, if you can just allow me pass. But you see, my mother sent me. If I go back home with that, she will send you for something so irrelevant. Go again or later, Chibiditi. Those little matchbox. We have matchbox. She just wanted me to run into something that will kill me. So then it's go and get this and go. So you go. You kneel down. In tears and begging. Sometimes I think they will just look at me because they were, you know, human spirits. Sometimes they will just look at me and think that I should just leave. So I'll beg them. Please, sirs. Allow me to go. I don't have any problem. Please don't eat me. I'm just a kid. But I know if I don't get what Mama told me to take, she will kill me. And I'll join you. I think to them that didn't sound so bad. But to me that really sounded bad. So I begged for my life. Then the winds and all the things that you were passing through, and the horrible presence, you feel a presence here, you feel a presence there, you feel they will surround you. Then you see shadows moving. It's a good thing that some of them did not manifest. Some of them did. Even in the broad daylight. You will see a man and you will be passing by. And you get in the grave and disappear. I used to like the time of 12 o'clock. 12 p.m. That time I used to avoid being outside. Somehow you go in to see something. It's either a figure that just appeared, vanished, or it will actually walk. And it's like it's minding its own business. It's walking. It used to be more, many of them were men. But the one that haunted the house was the mother to those children. But the other ones, most of them that were buried in the other graves were men. And then you feel it right here, standing right here. You don't want to turn. Every hair on your body stands up. But for some reasons, I knew that they would not hurt me completely, as in kill me. Maybe they will beat me up a couple of times, but not to the point that they will actually kill me. So I thought that if I can just reason with you, sirs, please allow me. Let me go my way. I don't want problems. But I'll be even in a bigger problem if I don't go back with those things. Please allow me. The winds will decrease. The presence will start to, decrease also. It's like one will vanish and another one will vanish. Those, when I'm coming, they'll take over the whole place. This one is here. That one, you can point at them. Until now, I still do the same thing. Sometimes even if it doesn't manifest, it's like, I know you're right there. Get out of my house. So you plead with them. I think God just helped me, because in my ignorance, I'll kneel in front of these graves, which was so bad. Some of these graves, they were the witches had eaten most of those bodies. They call them abasezi. Those night dancers. You can tell when the grave is empty. Some of them were completely, they had holes that you can even see inside. So those are the ones that scared me most. Because as I approach, it's like I can almost see it coming through the grave and sometimes standing there. And then it will come right where you're standing. So the ones that were open, I avoided those ones. They were even more dangerous, because it's like these spirits had, they had vengeance to them. So those are the ones that their bodies were eaten. So I will pick the one, there are only few that were still intact. So I'll beg those people to plead with everybody to please leave me. So when the presence, they start disappearing one by one, until I feel like there is still the fear, because you can still feel them, but not at this point. They are not trying to like make you scared. This time around it's like, okay, sure, go ahead. So I'll stand up, all shaken up. My knees sometimes will not even carry me, so I'll go shaking. It's cold, it's night, it's dark. You can't even see where you're going, so sometimes you're just moving like this, just so you don't bump into the tree, because it's that dark. And then don't bother looking at the tree, because if you try to look at that tree, tomorrow you will be able to tell that was a tree. But if you look at it at that time, it's like a mocking person that is just mocking you like this. You see their faces and it's like those kind of things. And it will bring even more fear. And sometimes I used to complain and it's like, but I begged you people, why is it that you still, some of them were trees, some of them were not. And sometimes you run into night dancers. Because when that spirit catches them, They cannot control themselves. So if it's 10 o'clock, if it's 11, instead of waiting at 12, it will catch them, and then you see a figure running through those banana plants on a speed. And then it's like, yay, today, they're gonna eat me. Today, I just know it. So sometimes they just run around like this and, you know, trying to surround you like that. They run and circle you on a full speed. You don't even have the time to really, you know, look at the person. But you can be able to tell whether it's a man or woman because they'll be naked. But to see their face, you cannot. And then it's like, so this is your last day on earth. You should at least have said goodbye to your father. But then you haven't seen him since like 2 days ago. What about Sam? My poor Sam. He's gonna be alone. My poor Sam. I loved my brother a lot. I still do. Because we grew up like twins. If there is someone in my mind all the time, it's him. So I'll think about him in that time. It's like, my poor brother. Now they're gonna cut me into pieces. They're gonna just eat me. I wonder what kind of food they're gonna eat me with. Is it a matoke, lumonde, muogo? I think I prefer to go with matoke. I didn't like muogo. That was daddy's thing. And I didn't like lumonde. So lumonde is sweet potato. Muogo is what they call here yucca, but it's called cassava. So I preferred matoke, which is those are Ugandan bananas. They are not plantain, they are bananas. So I would have preferred that they actually ate me with those bananas, because I preferred them better. Because, you know, I know they're gonna eat me. So, but at least they let them make a good sauce out of me, so that I do not go in vain. If I go with murumonde, that's an insult. If I go with cassava, I'm not that plain. So please, eat me with something that is better and more expensive too. But anyway, of course, as I'm, thinking about that, I was so dumb. Like, who thinks about that in a time of danger like that? But let me praise my God, because I have every reason to. If it wasn't for this, my God, you would not be seeing me anywhere. I would have become food to these people, because they ate a lot of people. They did. When I get to the part where I was pregnant, there was one that wanted to eat my daughter out of my womb. So if it wasn't for my God, this Rachel that you're seeing will not be anywhere. Mbuyaga ezikuta, the wind that now, just blows around. I would have been one of them. Or probably in hell, since I was not saved. But the grace of God has kept me. So you will continue to go on that long distance to finally get to the destination where you're going to buy those things. But remember, you also have to come back. So you come back, you start the whole process again. Because when you come back, these spirits were not very nice. They really found joy in tormenting a little girl. They had no shame. They really didn't. Because when I come back, they'll do the same thing. They'll lift up themselves. The presence will be everywhere until they, I'll be so scared I want to pee. So then I have to go back on the graves again. and beg again. And I'll say, thank you for allowing me to go last time. But now I'm asking you to allow me to reach the house. Please, don't eat me. Don't strangle me. Because I was used to getting strangled by demons, and it's really not a good thing. Even though these were human spirits, those ones can be very deadly if they are vengeful spirits. I've dealt with some, especially little kids. They are deadly. So I begged, and again, just like before, they'll let me pass. By the time I have reached home, I would not be sure which one was more scary. Is it the whole ordeal that I just survived with the night dancers, with the human spirits that were tormenting me, or the fact that I was a little bit late? Because remember, I had to beg for my life 2 times. So that means that she used to spit on the ground, mostly the sand. So she will spit on that sand and say, if it dries and you're not here, you're dead. And you know how sand is. It swallows up the thing. So in just a couple of minutes, it will already be dried. So you have taken maybe like 15 minutes plus maybe a couple of other minutes of begging. So you're very late. Your heart is going to be beating. And sometimes I will actually stand where these graves are, and I'll be contemplating, should I just let these guys eat me? Because if I go home, the kind of beating I'll get at that time, I would wish that I was dead. So I will stand there, and as I'm standing there, of course, I'm taking more time. But somehow I feel like these ones that are tormenting me, they are not as bad as the one that I'm going to find at home. So I'll stand there. But these spirits actually understood me. Sometimes you will just feel one that will just get close to you. It's still not a good feeling. Ugh, it's really still bad. But it's like you just stand. He or she will just stand. And you're just standing there. And it's like you can see it. Again, sometimes they will make themselves visible, and sometimes they are not so visible. But it's like you can see it. Oh, it's just, sometimes it's just a shadow. Even in darkness, you can see that shadow. So it's like, maybe I'll just surrender myself so that these ones can kill me. They're probably just gonna choke me because they like choking. But if I go home, she'll probably burn me and cook me up and cut me up and feed me to myself, then kill me again. All of that didn't sound good, so I'll stand here and take my chances. So it's like they'll understand. They will not do anything. But I'll have that voice that will tell me, you are safe. You are okay. Walk. That voice has really been with me. And that's why when it started now coming to reality, I was able to recognize it. Then my situation didn't seem so bad because I knew that all that time he was truly with me. It's like, you will be okay. You are safe. Go home. So I walk, but I'm still looking on the back and on the side, and because those are spirits, sometimes they will still follow you. They will follow you really. So they, you know, you still very scared and everything. So you're walking and you're still shaking, but then you know where you're going is hell. So you're not too scared of them, but you're just wondering, what is she gonna do to me? How is she gonna kill me this time around? What is she gonna do? Is she gonna choke me to death? Is she gonna get the knife and cut me up? Is she going to put a rope in my neck and hang me up? What is she going to do? As you walk, you are wondering, and the more you wonder, the more you get you are less scared of these ones that are just following you around. You reach there, you find her at the door. Especially when you find her and she has a wrapper on, and she used to wear 2 ones, right? But when she doesn't, she's not so angry, she'll wear just 1. When she really is angry, sometimes you'll find her wearing 2, and she'll put it right here, a little higher. And you know that chibok is either she has it in her hand behind her back, or is right close to the door where she can easily reach it. Either way. And then all of a sudden, those are, evil spirits, or those are dead people, did not seem like a bad idea. I was most safer with them than with this woman. So then you stand, the moment you see her, even though it's dark, you know her expression. So it's like, should I run back and throw myself in the graves that those, graves that already are opened? Should I run back, just jump in there and dive through? Or should I just face my death and finally be out of this world? Which one? I was too scared of dead people. I was too scared of graves. But I was terrified of her. But anyway, maybe, just like before, maybe she won't kill me. Maybe she will. Or maybe my death is not gonna be too painful. I'll approach. And sometimes when she's up to no good, she'll talk to you nicely. Oh, you have come back. What kept you so long? I knew that deceitful tone. I knew, oh Lord, I am dead. What happened? Did you have any problem on the way? Or you can make up something. Yes, I found that they had a long line, and but then you remember that she will ask this person if they had a long line last night, and then she will find out that you lied, and then that will be double wahala. So you're going to get it today and tomorrow as well. So sometimes it was just better to get it just today and tomorrow face another problem. At least tomorrow you're going to be beaten up by something else. But today, you face what is coming for you today. She would beat. I know there is nothing left. And then you have to sleep on the cement. It was hard. It was very hard. Then after, finally, if you manage to sleep, the witches are chasing you in your dreams. The snakes are chasing you in your dreams. And you wake up and you're seeing shadows moving around the house. You hear things moving in the next room, because the room of those children, the boys of the landlord, was really attached. So we were living in like the garage, We were renting their garage. So there the boys' room was attached to that garage. So you will hear this this woman, the dead woman, moving around. And you don't want to look at the wall because you will see her face. So she will move things around to annoy you, so that she can take away your sleep. I don't know how her sons were not able to hear all that noise. I mean, the woman will be banging things very loud. But I will just keep my eyes very closed, because if I look at that wall, I will see things that will terrify me. So in just one night, you had to beg the ghosts to let you pass. Going, begged. Coming back, you begged. You came back to a very angry stepmother that had beaten you up. You didn't even get food. There is no food for the disobedient children. Because as I went and I was late, I had slept with the shopkeeper. I had sex with him. Probably had sex with his children. And I had sex with everybody that I met on the road. And that's why I was late. So again, the spirit of Jezebel will be beaten out of me. So you have to face that. Then you face nightmares. And then you face a vengeful woman. Then you wonder, like, did I kill you? Why is it that you can't torment the woman that married your husband? How is it that she can sleep so peacefully? And it's me that is you're tormenting. Sometimes I don't understand ghosts. Ghosts are one of the most useless things that you can actually meet in your life. They will leave the person that killed them and come and torment you. And it's like, do I even know you? Even the way you died, do I know? Unless, they have the scars. If it's accident, they are so disfigured. If, they were murdered, they'll have, choked. They'll have, the prints on their neck. Or if it's strangulation, they'll have the rope. Or, anything that, so they'll be living. And some of them is like, my body, where's my body? The body, the night dancers have taken it. They have turned your body into food. But it has nothing to do with me. Mr. Omem, please rest in peace. I know it's hard to rest in peace when they have eaten your body. But that's not my problem. I'm just a kid. So this woman will frustrate my life. And they had like a father, or I don't know if it was like the father to the husband. Probably a great father, something, because he looked a little ancient. He didn't look like he was in any recent generation. He too. You'll be minding your own business. You just see him come, vanish, appear again, disappear. You're trying to wash dishes. You're trying to sweep the compound. And these ghosts, they were too stubborn sometimes. You're sweeping the compound. And they'll raise up the little wind. And they'll scatter back all the garbage that you just swept. And scatter it all over the place. And you start again. So it was one frustration to another. And you truly just sit there and it's like, what is my offense? What did I do? You, this man, what did I do to you? And you, these ghosts that are from the other part of the grave, what did I do? That man that I was talking about, he was buried in one of those graves. It was that grave that I used to lean to kneel before. much because he was very dangerous. He was very dangerous. From what I can still remember is that, you know, because sometimes you see them and it's like, you know, the story behind them. Please don't ask me how I knew that. But from what I can remember is that his son probably got a little greedy. The father had lands, and so he probably got a little impatient. I don't remember exactly all the stories, but you know, when it came to human spirit, is that there was something that is like he's telling you that this and this happened to this person. So this one was just appearing and disappearing. It's like he was, you know, surveying his land. But he has no control over this land anymore. But him and his greedy self, he still wants to keep the land. But why are you not going after your son or great-great-great-great-grandson? Or even their children? Oh heck, he could have done me a favor and, you know, go after this stepmother. I don't know why they never went after her. She would have been a good match for these people. But sometimes, you know, this human spirit, they carry such a sadness around them if they died a tragic way. I've been stuck with little boys, the ghosts of little boys, and they'll tell you, I want to play. And say, but I don't want to play. I want to play now. Huh? If you don't, they will throw a tantrum. And they will scream until your ears, like, you can't hear anymore. Most times I thought that I'll go deaf. They will scream. And then it's like, you know, some of them will know how to use powers. So they'll go and start, you know, building up something until their faces starts changing into something different. But I also knew, because you can tell a ghost from a demon. Some of them were, you know, a few of them were demons that were trying to disguise themselves as little children to deceive you. But if it was like a real human spirit and it died in a horrible way, sometimes it's like, where is my mommy? Have you seen my mommy? Take me to my mommy. It's like, but I don't know your mommy. Find my mommy. But I don't know your mommy. Find my mommy. They will scream and scream and scream and really say that I will not leave. So it's now later on in life that I actually knew that I can just cast them out. You know, and denounce any attachment. But it was this my eyes that will get me in trouble. Because truly, there is things I saw that I should not have seen. It, like those kind of ghosts and whatever, they were none of my business. So whether it was demons, whether it was ghosts, whether young or women or little children or grandparents, whichever, you will just see them, but you cannot tell. I tried to talk to I was friends with Harriet and I think Miriam or something. Those were the daughters of the older daughters of that house. So I used to try to talk to them. But the girl, the older one, Miriam, sometimes she will get possessed by by her mother. We'll be talking and all of a sudden she changes And then it's like I'm seeing two faces. But because I know this woman, it's like, So then even the voice would change. And she would start speaking things. But in a moment's time, she changes back. And I'm still looking at her. And she'll be like, why are you looking at me like that? Did you understand what I just said? It's like, what did you say? I was talking about we have to go fetch water. But what they just said, it was completely different. It was something dark. But she just remembers what she was just talking about. So sometimes I'll be like, do you ever see, your mom? So that one in particular, she'll be like, sometimes I dream about her. Like, can you describe her? And I'll see the pictures. Even though I already knew who she was, when I see the picture, then I was like, what do you have with me? I mean, your children are right here. Torment them. Or go after the husband. And especially the stepmother. Torment her. If she's the one that killed you, torment her. But of course not. They like to go to those that can see them. I mean, it was pointless most times to actually, when these ghosts were trying to talk to these people. It was frustrating. They'll try to speak, and it's like, speak and get right in front. It's like, well, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, they're just there, like they don't see nothing, and you're looking. It's like, how do you not see that? And I'll ask, do you feel anything? What is it with you and these your weird questions? Why sometimes it's like you are a little bit normal, and then sometimes you just say things that they're just so strange. Are you a witch? No, I'm not a witch. I'm just asking. I'm just curious if you feel anything. It's like, no, I don't feel anything. Like, yeah, me too. I don't. I was just asking. So anyway, how was life? Poverty, dysfunctional family. Some of you are even wondering, since I said that I had a sister and 3 brothers, you're probably wondering, so what happened to that, to the sister and the other brothers? Because I only talk about one mostly, because those 3 had completely ran away. It was only one that used to come often, but he would only come a day or 2 and vanish. The sister, now she was somewhere else, so she was not showing up at all. So, but all of that is happening. Of course, we still go to church. At some point, the stepmother gave up on Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, because after years of praying and fasting, the wicked woman, she thought that she can torture the children of these people, or of another woman, and she thought that she can just succeed. I know some of them already do still have children, but this one, God dealt with her nicely. Until now, she only has that one child that she had before she met my father. And that son too ended up with what I think 2 children. And her evil sister too. She had an evil sister too. Whenever that woman came, I'll get double beating. So I was thankful that she did not come often. Her and her wickedness. Until now, the woman is in her 60s. Until now, has never even found, not even one that will say hello. God cannot be mocked. Whatever a man sows, you will reap it. You cannot be going around eating people's children and mistreating people's children and doing all of these things, stealing people's husbands, and you're doing all of this, and you think that you know you can get away with it for a couple of years, but eventually I think in the next video, because it's already 3 hours, the next video I'll talk about when we went to her, you know, to the stepmother's village. The way those witches wanted to have us for dinner. They were on the roof fighting to get us to eat us. And even the so-called, I regret calling her the so-called grandfather. Called him grandfather because at that time we actually thought that we were, she gave birth to us. So we were very little by that time. But I still remember everything. Even his face, the words that he said, and the noises that these things were making on the roof and on the door. And I can never forget those words that he said. He says that he said to those witches that you will not eat these ones, because if you eat them, their father will ask where they are, and he'll come and give us trouble. So the stepmother knew that she had to take us back. Dad was waiting, and he was not gonna have it the other way. It's like, if they eat them, what am I going to say to him? I still need the marriage. What will I say if I go back without these children? But they did not eat us mostly because God was with us. So today I'll end it there because of time, and then by the grace of God in the next video we'll talk about the trip to Congo and how that went. We'll talk about a few more things, but truly, if you know, you watch this video, I know we are taking a little time to actually upload it because YouTube is giving us problems. But if you watch and you have questions, please feel free to leave me a comment, and I will address your question openly. I have to say it the way it is. If I make a mistake, I will admit it. But by God's grace, I pray that I don't say anything more than I should, and I don't overshare, because there is still a lot of things that I'm still not going to talk about, that those ones are just not meant to be shared. Maybe in the future, but there is many that I won't talk about. But there is a lot that I'll talk about, and there is some names that I'll mention, because you see, those pretenders, no matter how long a secret will be, one day it will come out. All that will be in the light, in the dark, it will come out. Light will find it. So until next time, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. I know I did not really get much into stuff. Please bear with me. I don't want to run ahead, so I have to listen to my boss. I have the best boss. He does not pressure me. He's not rushing me. So I just pray that as viewers, that also you will bear with us, you know, and God will bless you. Please continue to, I'm gonna do the videos quicker because I have other things to do. So I'm trying to rush the videos so that at least I can be able to finish at least this part of whatever it is I'm doing, so that I can the other things can have more of my attention. But I'll give these videos as much as attention as my Lord will allow me to. But I just pray that if you have any question, leave me a comment and just ask. Or if you don't understand, ask. If there is a particular subject that you want to you need some clearance on, just leave me a comment there, and I will by the grace of God, we can be able to talk about it. If you have any advices, I would like to hear it. If you have some concerns, I would love to hear it. But always pray for me as I pray for you. And in all things, may the Lord God Almighty, the only one true God, the only creator of the heaven and the earth, my husband and my Lord, the lifter of my head, my deliverer. Think about the few things that I've shared so far. And really, from the slums, begging the dead, being all of these things, to where I am, it's by the special grace of God. And if He did it for me, He will do it for you. Have faith and have encouragement in your heart. Encourage yourself in the Lord as David did. Most times we need those self-encouragements. You don't need to be so much encouraged by others, but find that self-encouragement and say that I will encourage myself in my Lord. Because if you have to rely on everyone has to encourage me for me to be lifted, that will work sometimes, and sometimes you will not get it. So encourage yourself, and also be encouraged in the Lord, and be strengthened, and you will prevail. Because our King, the Lord Jesus Christ, is on the throne, fights for you day and night, loves you very much, shed His blood for you. That blood is not just for your cleansing from your sin and for your salvation, but it's also for the deliverance, to bring you an expected end. And in His mighty name we shall prevail, we shall conquer. Though the battle wages against us, though the kingdom of darkness rises against us, and yet we will not surrender. We have a mighty conqueror, the greatest captain that fights our battle. He is my president. He is also my commander. He is my chief in charge. I'm not a war person, but I know a few things. I just imagine all the highest levels. That's my God. Did it for me. He's still doing it for me, and He still is doing it for me, and He will do it for you. Whatever the situation, maybe yours is not spiritual, maybe it's financial, maybe it's mental, maybe it's health, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's the children, maybe it's anything. He's a mighty God that specializes in difficult problems. And what is difficult for us is nothing to Him. I think Asa is the one that said, King Asa, he said that with me it's impossible. But is it? I forgot the scripture. It was just here right now, but it just disappeared. It is with nothing to help us. When the enemy surrounded him, he looked to God and said, Lord, it is with nothing for you to help us. It doesn't take away His power, it doesn't decrease His, doesn't do that. No, it is with nothing. So for Him to find you in your situation, it is with nothing for Him. He doesn't have to even blink or even speak or even do anything. Nah, He can just command it. He is the God that commands the wind to cease. So let that big mouth that has stood up against you, that evil tongue that has pronounced evil pronouncement against you, those evil spirits that have taken up power in your life, let them bow to the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, the great King, the great Lord. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Until next time, be encouraged in the Lord. Tune in for the next video. May God's name be praised. Amen.